I am making a set of flannel paper towels. You know, instead of using a paper towel and throwing away, that you use a piece of flannel and wash it and reuse it. Hi, I'm Sara from sewingmastery.com, and I am using just a standard 4-thread to serge around simple pieces of flannel. Now this is not new, but I want to show you a few tricks that I have learned and how quick and simple this can be. I started using cloth napkins, a while ago, and even though my household isn't totally green, there are a few times where using a paper towel seems wasteful because I'm just using it quick and then throwing it away. But what if we could take something that you probably already have in your fabric stash, a couple pieces of flannel, and make some simple rectangles. So this is a piece that is cut 12 inches by 10 inches. And I've rounded the corners using a Creative Grid 3.5-inch template. So each of the corners are kind of pre-cut. I did determine that that was easier than just kind of winging it with the serger knife. This made it a little bit more exact. Now, the next step was figuring out how to make every corner look consistent and how to have a nice, pretty start and end point that didn't look too overlapped. And I'm going to show you what I learned. So you'll probably find that these days you can get flannel fairly inexpensive. We have a joke with some friends that we're always doing pickles, and so we have even done a pickle bracket and taste tested pickles to find the best brand that we love for each of our taste buds. It was quite interesting, and yes, there is such a thing as a pickle bracket. So what is a pickle bracket? Well, you take all the different pickles you have, pair them up, and then you pick the pickle that you like from that pair, and then that pickle moves on to the next pickle winner. And just like a basketball bracket, we have and had a pickle bracket. You can do that with Oreo cookies, which, by the way, that's how we got the idea. Somebody had Oreo cookie bracket, and then we taste tested Oreo cookie flavors, some of those unique odd ones that you would never think tasted good, and it was surprising which ones were the winners. So that's why I picked, first off, pickle flannel fabric, and then because I'm thinking more for summertime, I did pick the watermelon. Now, since we're doing serger videos right now on the Burnett series of airlock sergers, I have in each of the thread tensions different colors of thread, making it easier for people to actually see the type of stitch as we show them rolled hem and cover stitch and all the different settings. So the colorful colors of yellow, green, blue, and red actually are ideal for the edges of a multicolored flannel. So it was perfect just to leave the colors that I was already using and start this project without having to go look for specific thread colors. So honestly, whatever color you have on your serger, give it a whirl, see if it blends in, see how you like it, and you might not even have to go look for matching colors for this project. I did pre-wash the fabric. If this is the first time you even thought of using flannel fabric in lieu of paper towels, one of the things that you're going to learn is every time you wash these, they're going to become more and more absorbent. So if you find that you're using them and they're just kind of moving the water around, give them a few more washings and you will find this will actually become your favorite thing to reach for instead of a paper towel. And you can even just take a traditional paper towel roll and start to roll up these after you've made them. They just simply go on the roll, easy peasy, just keep rolling until you have a full roll. And then as you put it on your paper towel holder, they will just come off in simple sheets. How fun would this be for the kids? And then all you have to do, wash them and re-roll them. Let's get started on the tips for serging the edges. One of the first things you're going to need to do is just take one of your pieces that you've cut with the curved corners and practice. So the first two that I did, I went around them a few times. They actually got quite on the smaller side, but each time I did a corner, I learned something about how to kind of manipulate the turn. And as I did more and more of them, I could totally see where Now I have the skills to just do the entire stack and not have a problem. One of the things I was running into is as you go around a corner, because your serger foot is so long, and then as you start to turn, some of the stitches want to start to hang off the edge. So the idea is that there's always fabric filling in that serger edge as much as possible. If it kind of gets a little on the thin side, it's not going to make a big difference, but you're going to notice if you totally kind of miss one of the edges. The other thing that I found was it's easiest to start by lifting up the presser foot and just sliding the fabric along one of the long edges all the way underneath the foot and in towards the knife. So it's almost touching, and then lowering the foot onto the fabric. So that's our beginning point. The next thing that you're going to do is, as you get comfortable going around the curves, one of the things I found helpful is that I'm always trimming something off. So plan to trim or shave a small amount of this curve off as you go around that corner. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, if you watch my hand here, I'm going to kind of be ready because as I get to that corner, I can twist that in place. All right, here we go. So we're trimming a little off. You can see the little bit of tail that's starting to come off there. And then just again, kind of turning the fabric in front of the knife and keeping a little bit trimmed at all times. Then just even yourself out. You can continue to trim off a little bit of the fabric as you go and get ready for corner number 2. As I get ready to overlap a few of the stitches, what I want to do is, as I continue to cut, is to cut just a little bit, but not try to cut too much of these little loops right here, so they're not kind of frayed out. But I am looking to kind of overlap the stitches where the needles are. After I come over the top of the first 3 or so stitches that I took when I started, I'm going to lift up the presser foot and then continue to sew off the edge of the fabric. This is what it's going to look like. Bring the needles up out of the fabric, lift up the presser foot, slide off so your next few stitches will actually be in air, and continue to sew. If your serger does not sew with the presser foot up, then lower it back down so it can stitch the remaining chain. Isn't that just perfect? What I'm going to do is clip this chain, leave it a little long, and I will come back once all my pieces are done, put a little bit of fray check or fabric glue here, and then let it dry, just like 5 minutes, and then I'll come back and clip this nice and close. That little fray check will kind of glue and seal the edges so nothing comes loose once we start to wash. Since my presser foot was up, as I finish this piece, it is ready to accept my next piece, lower the presser foot down, and stitch again. I want you to watch really close in this little area how I keep the fabric nice and close to the knife. If you're looking for a fun project to use your serger for, or you are looking for instructions on how to use a serger, how to thread it, how to take care of it, how to even get a 4-thread overlock, I invite you to visit our website, sewingmastery.com, where we have tons of free video tutorials on all different types of sergers. If your serger is in the box, in the closet, it's time to pull it out and start using it today.